Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Dave Halchak on Wake Up and Live, a Bob Marley tribute.
You've got Bob Marley Birthday. This has become, in the Denver area, such a well known and beloved project. You have Wake Up and Live, the Bob Marley Tribute Band. You guys have been around for a long time now. And you all are going to do your annual birthday shows early February. Maybe let's talk about where they're going to happen, because I know that's a little bit different this year. And then maybe we can get into a little bit of like the history of that too.
Totally, yeah. So this will be the 12th year we're doing it. And we're switching it up for the first time. We've always done it always done it with Cervantes, whether we played at Cervantes or we played at the Bluebird. It was always through Scott and Cervantes and Evan and, the whole crew over there. So this year I spoke with Scott and, we were prepared to do it at Cervantes, but we're gonna try a different approach and go to Ophelia's just to play a different room, to present the show, the celebration in a different space. This isn't goodbye to Cervantes. We're family with them, and we love them. We just wanted to present it in a different space and are excited to try it at a new venue. We 2024 for that band is a little bit of a change up, right? We're going to change our Denver spot. We're a Denver band, so we're going to change where we're presenting the Denver show. We actually we've been kind of quiet about this, but we do also have another singer that joined us, and we're really excited about her. She's really bringing a lot to the table, and she's got a super awesome voice and just a great person. So a lot of change and like good things happening, and just kind of as like the person who started the project, it was like, okay, well, let's kind of like try this, see how this goes. And the Ophelia show's looking like it's going to be awesome. I get a little bit of anxiety stepping away from Cervantes because I'm so comfortable there. But I'm not saying goodbye to Cervantes. We're just taking it to a different room for one show, so.
Yeah, and it is a different vibe, not better or worse in any way, just different. I mean, I think the capacity total of both of those venues is pretty similar. Like, I don't think one is much bigger, but the layout of Ophelia's is so unique, with the multi levels and the seating that they have. I think it's going to be awesome. Because the last couple years, I mean, Cervantes was beyond packed, which was awesome to see. This will give people maybe a chance from the different different vantage points to see you all.
It's the best when it's packed. I mean, that's
I
our
know, it's
goal,
so
right?
great.
Um,
Absolutely.
and it's always been good crowds. It's a project that I'm very proud of. It's a particular show, being the birthday shows, that I'm very proud of. And the fact that we've had 11 of them at Cervantes, between Cervantes and the Bluebird, we've had 11 of them that have gone off. I feel honored. I feel proud of the project, and happy that Scott was willing to give me a shot way back in 2013 when I said, "Hey, I want to do a Bob Marley tribute." I was like, I appreciate the chance that he gave me and the growth that the project has seen, and just excited about it all. So yeah, so we'll do Denver at Ophelia's. This year we're gonna do 4 birthday shows. We've done as many as 10. We bounce back and forth. This year we're keeping it to 4, because, like I did say, we do have a new singer, and I kind of wanted to get her comfortable with us, and at the same time present the tightest show. So I thought 4 was a good number. We're going to do Steamboat, we're going to do Denver, we're going to do Manitou Springs, and then we're going to do Winter Park. So I always love bringing that project up to the mountains. The Steamboat show, the past 3 have sold out, so knock on wood. I would buy tickets in advance for that one particularly. It just seems like Steamboat goes off for that show. So yeah, very excited. I don't know how much more you want me to talk about Wake Up and Live, but I got a lot to say.
Oh no,
Are the set lists going to change, one, and what goes into your set list choices for this?
Yeah, totally. So I appreciate you asking me that. That is what makes us different. We are a Bob Marley tribute band, but it's got a lot of jam elements. One of those elements being you could come see, so Steamboat in Denver, for example, they're on the same weekend. You could go to Steamboat and see us Friday night and then come to Denver Saturday night and see us. You're going to see a different show. I never wanted the project to be the type of Bob Marley tribute that just goes and plays the Legend album, and that's what you're going to see. I always wanted it to be the deeper cuts. Obviously, we're going to play the hits, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to just play hits. My goal was always to introduce people to Bob Marley in a deeper level. I think probably every kid in the world had the Legend album at some point, whether it was on vinyl, CD, tape, streaming services, whatever. It is a big influence on a lot of people's lives, and I'm not discrediting it, but he has so many great songs. He was an amazing.
You got to listen to a whole album. You got to listen to Exodus
Yep.
or Rastaman Vibration front to back to get it.
Exactly. So in terms of set lists, that's what I try to do. I try to mix in, and I'll lean on the band for, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But I try to lean into like, okay, here's a hit, and then here's two like super deep cuts, and then followed by another hit to like give it a flow where if you have never heard Bob Marley, or maybe you only listen to the Legend album, that's totally fine. You're going to hear, oh, I know Stir It Up. And then you're going to be like, I didn't know those other two songs, but they were sick. Oh, I know Could You Be Loved? Like it's going to keep the casual list. My goal is to keep the casual listener interested while also filling my cup of like, oh yeah, they played Caution, they played Midnight Ravers, they played Ambush in the Night. Like I've never seen even the Wailers play these songs, so my intention of the approach has always been that I want to present Bob Marley and the songs that he wrote, but number one, in a different way. I want it because they would go into little dub sections, and I always was like finding as a jam band kid, quote unquote, growing up in the Northeast, Fishland. I always found myself like, oh man, I wish they kept going on that, but that's just not what they did. So that's where the idea stemmed from, is like, well, what if we go into this dub section and then, take it even further in, 10, 15 minutes or whatever, bring the song back. And there you have it. It's Bob if you want to go see Bob Marley, go see the Wailers,
How far do you go back? You do like a Guava Jelly, or do you just go like maybe the first album, The Burnin' or something?
We go further than Burnin'. I think Caution is probably one of the oldest ones. I'd have to like look at the credits, but Soul Shakedown is pretty old. Caution is pretty old. We're bringing Hypocrites into the mix. That's really old. But like, I don't know if Caution came before Hypocrites, or I've always wanted to do Simmer Down, which was like one of his first hits. The variable with Simmer Down is you have to have horns, and we can't always have horns. So I have to like kind of weigh my options of like, this song, I really want to play this song, but we can't play without horns. So is it worth the rehearsal?
One year you'll get horns.
No, we bring horns when we can afford it. That's really what it comes down to. It's like,
there's a few horn players out here.
Yeah, there's a lot. And we've had horns plenty of times, and I love it. It's just another variable for me to work with as the musical director / band leader, / manager, which I'm fine with. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So this is like half a joke, but Benny Bloom does honky tonk now
Yeah,
in
I've
addition
seen.
to funk. So he should just add like Marley tribute band to that, round it out a little bit.
I've thought about asking Benny to hop up with us. If I could get like him and Drew Sayers together, that'd be wicked, you know.
Benny gave me shit outside of Cervantes last weekend, but we can maybe save that for another time. He's like, you
So
saw
how
Benny
many
last night. What are you
how many
doing?
people? How big's the band?
So it's an 8-piece. It's been a 7-piece pretty consistently. But our really good friend, who is an amazing percussion player, his name is Atado. He's originally, I believe, from Ghana. So he grew up, building drums, playing drums, knows everything about drums. He, so to be straight up, his wife is one of our singers. He was kind of coming to all the shows, and I was like, dude, you're at a lot of our shows. Why don't you get to work, So it started out very, he was kind of a mix between like he would sit in, and then he was like selling merch and sitting in, and then he's just playing with us, and he's also added vocals. So we now have 4 full-time vocalists, which is great. So it is an 8-piece band. Sometimes we'll bring in horns, sometimes we'll bring in a second keyboardist, but the core group is an 8-piece band. And yeah, 2 female vocals, 2 guitars.
The I2s?
Yeah, exactly. Which, they were the I3s, but if you really dig into Bob, you'll see that very often it was only 2. I don't know, like, I don't know, like, if there was ever a time where it became only 2, or if it was always just like, oh, well, it's going to be 3 and then it's going to be 2. But yeah, the I2s, so to say.
That's
But
awesome.
Atado has become the 3rd now. So now
Yeah.
we do have the I3s. It's very 2024. One of them is a male now. So
There you
Great.
go.
I like it.
yeah.
It's a new
Um,
dawn.
Does
Yeah.
the
Hey, we don't discriminate. He's got a great voice. Let him sing.
Working
right.
right.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's amazing to have that depth of vocal power.
It helps. I mean, frankly, if it was just me singing, it wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be nearly as good. They really just complement. I mean, the songs were written to have heavy background vocals, and I'm lucky to have some female vocalists and a male vocalist that are willing to sing with me.
Yeah. Does the longevity of this project, does it surprise you? Like when you first dreamt of this, like what were you hoping to get out of it at one point, or was it more just about this would be awesome? I really want to do this, and maybe weren't thinking about like this many years later.
Well, I am a planner, so I definitely said from the beginning, like, I want to start this project and I want it to be a project that lasts, and so far that's happened. But the original idea was a little different in the sense of like, I came to Scott Morrill. I was working as a assistant talent buyer at Cervantes at the time. And I was like, hey, we don't do a Bob Marley birthday thing. I want to put together a band and we're going to play Bob's music and we'll do a big Bob Marley birthday bash. And that's how it started. It was never like, we're going to do tours, we're going to do things like this. And we don't necessarily tour. We do like short runs of shows, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights kind of stuff. We're not out there doing 200 shows a year. I'm not against that. But as an 8-piece, there are many challenges to being out on the road 150 times a year.
As the polyrhythmics have told us.
Yeah, I would imagine good for them because they're still out there playing. They're coming back to Denver, I think in March.
Yeah, they'll be here.
But yeah, I mean, I think, I don't want to I guess I am a little surprised that it's still going. This will be the 12th year that we're doing it. And it's gone from just one show once a year to like a bunch of shows, throughout the entire year. This year, we're scaling back a little bit. We're only doing 4 birthday shows because I wanted them to be impactful. I didn't want people to be like, well, I'm not going to the Denver show because I'm going to go to Steamboat, or I'm going to go, to Utah, or I'm going to go, I didn't want to give too many options, Am I surprised? I guess maybe a little bit, but I'm also, I don't know if I'm stubborn or what, but like, I want this project to live. I've said to my friends or my bandmates or, my wife, I've always said that this is the project that I want to be doing when I'm like 70, and because, I
You gotta
just,
take it to the J-Rad level.
yeah,
Get
well,
yourself some like Pier 6 in
Well,
places.
I would,
I
I
mean,
would love to.
yeah,
And we should tell, we should tell Joe Russo, hey man, we'll open for you. Come on, let's go. But yeah, I love, I can't say I've listened to a ton of J-Rad. I love all of them and their projects. I've listened to J-Rad. I really look up to what he's done with that project, because it's become a big deal,
It's how they do everything else. It funds everything else you want to do. You go out and do 20 dates a year as J-Rad.
Yeah. I would love if that happened to Wake Up and Live, but if it doesn't happen, I'm also fine with, playing locally and putting my energy towards
You could be D-Ham.
Oh man.
there you go. Mark it.
Got it.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. That's awesome.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.